Well, hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Meditation Millionaire. And boy, do I have a guest for you today. He is spectacular. I've actually been waiting for a bit to get this lovely young man on here onto my podcast. You will absolutely fall in love with him. He is amazing. I'm not going to say very much. I'm just going to introduce him to you. And also, as it happens to be, today is his birthday. So, welcome. Now, here he has Lefty legacy filmmaker. His name is Lefteris Koutinas.
That's
I did
it.
good. I did good. I'm not even Greek. Lefty, I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah, I'm a award-winning documentary filmmaker, and what I do and what I specialize in is pretty much helping business owners or anybody with a powerful and impactful story. I help them leave their legacy behind and make an impact in this world because we are on this we're on this lovely planet to uh, teach and learn and educate, and I find it sometimes sad when somebody doesn't get the opportunity to leave something truly behind for future generations, and that's where I kind of step in and make something super long lasting, everlasting, for that business owner, essentially. So that's where I come in.
Isn't that wonderful? He's actually a cinematographer, and I had the pleasure of introducing him. So it took me a week to learn how to pronounce his name. And I wanted to do a good job, but then it just became like this thing like, oh, every time I would say it this way or the other way. So it was wonderful. Also had the pleasure of working with Lefty because he was the cinematographer on a documentary film that I was in. And it was for my coach, Robert J. Moore. And he did his life story, and I was like the client testimonial type person. And so, of course, I was like, wow, this is going to be a movie. I don't think I've ever done a movie, a film. And I'm like, this is going to be weird. How am I going to do this? And he was so amazing. So we did it here at my place and on my couch, just like steps away from where I'm doing this. And Lefty was so amazing. He would just say, he would look at me and he would be like, oh, yeah, like I'm speaking to him like this. And he goes, don't look over there. Don't look over here. And I'm like, uh-huh. Okay. So he actually made it very fun and super, super easy. And come on, it's nerve wracking. Who wouldn't be a little, shaken? Oh, here I am in a film. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, at the actual event at the launch, it was like this big. I was taking pictures of myself on the screen, and not just myself, others too. And my coach is laughing at me. He's like sitting way down at the other end, and I'm going, I know, but like, come on, this is huge. So yeah, Lefty's amazing. And so, Lefty, what else do you do? Like, what else? How can people use this for their business, not just legacy, but also for business?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So, we live in this age where everything is about fast, 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 quick, quick, quick. We want it yesterday. We don't want it today. We don't want it tomorrow. We want it yesterday, right? And we're kind of brainwashed to believing that we need like a 7-day ROI, 14-day ROI, even a 30, 60-day ROI. But the reality is that things that come that quickly don't last, right? And a lot of the times when I'm speaking to future clients or clients that just got onboarded with me, and that's one of their first questions is like, well, what is the ROI on this? How am I gonna be able to really figure out how I'm gonna make money off of this film? And the question is, it's not about thinking about it from terms of like 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, 60 days. You have to think of now lifetime ROI, right? Because this is a type of film, and as you mentioned, Robert J. Moore, this is a film that's going to continuously keep paying him over and over and over and over again until his final breath, right? And then even after that happens, you can take a film like that and then you leave it passed down to, let's say, in your will, you give it to your spouse, you give it to your children, and then they continue pushing on that legacy and pushing it more and more and more and more and more, right? So I always love getting asked that question. Well, how can I make money as a business owner off of a documentary? The true harsh reality of the answer of that question is I don't know when. I can tell you how, but I don't know when, right? And I think the mystery behind documentaries and the mystery behind who and when and at one point someone is going to watch that specific film and it resonate and be relatable to that individual to want to take it a step further, to book a call, or even just go to your landing page, your Facebook page, your Instagram, your YouTube channel. Like I think I think the mystery is beautiful, but there there does come a point where having such like a large investment like that, you do want to turn a profit. Nobody ever wants to know that they just spent 50 to 100,000 on a film and there's no way of making their money back, right? So a lot of the times you can do it in sponsorships by getting other people within your community involved in your film, because who better than to root for you and your success than your already existing community? Second to that is rental. So you put it up as like a pay-per-view option on Vimeo or any other sort of like streaming platform. Maybe you use Go High Level, or you're in the ClickFunnels community. Create a funnel for the film and drive traffic to it, right? The one that I personally love the most, even though some people might find that it's not, the most upscale way of doing things, um, is YouTube, especially if you have a monetized channel, because every single view that comes out, you get an opportunity to make money back every time someone clicks to watch that video. So those are those are the three big ones for me. That's the one I love the most.
So 50 to 100,000, is that then how much it would be approximately to have a documentary film made for you? By
Yeah,
you?
and
Not for you, for us.
it,
By you.
yeah. Like it's in and around there, right? I do about four different types of documentaries. I do spots, short films, feature films, and the Holy Grail, which is docu series, where now we're getting into episodic, right? Um, I mean, yeah, I would say that it ranges between that. Like, you want to do a short film, you're looking at about 50K, right? But then you get into a docu series, now we're going into potentially, half a mil to a mil, right? And that also depends on what the individual wants, how much time is involved. I mean, if you come to me saying, I want to Fast and the Furious this film and plunge a Corvette off of the 72nd floor of like a building in Dubai, we might be talking about quite a big budget there. So I mean, it really all depends on the filmmaker, not the filmmaker, but the business owner and how they want to portray their image and their story.
Right.
Everything is unique and customizable. That's the beauty about it.
That's funny you should say Dubai, because I'm going at the end of November. I'm going to look
Oh,
for
no way. That's awesome.
plunging cars off of the highest hill. But so you don't just do documentary films. You could do like hardcore, intense commercials.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are times, I just actually finished an adaptation for one of my mentors. So an adaptation is essentially he's giving me a story and I'm recreating it in my own vision. Perfect example of that is you have someone like Jordan Belford, who is a business consultant, who made all his earnings and all his riches through the stock market. The Wolf of Wall Street, the film, is his adaptation of his life, right? The story is true. Sure, there might have been scenes that were dramatized and fabricated for Hollywood's purposes, but those are things that I do as well. And I actually just finished one. And funny enough, is I initially brought the project to my mentor because at that point I didn't even know how it was going to be, where it was going to go. Like I was just like, I want to do this for you. Let's figure it out. And he was very very nice in terms of collaborating with me, funding the project still. And I had this idea of just doing like a short film. It was like a 15-minute film. And everybody came back and was like, you didn't give me enough. I want more. I want more. And now I have to be like, hey, like, you ready to do a feature film now?
So you can actually do a film in 15 minutes.
um, yeah, like you could do like a short films are typically between 10 to 30 minutes in length. When you get into like the feature film area, you're looking now at like 70 minutes to 120 minutes. Now it doesn't only take 15 minutes to shoot the film
Oh, I'm aware.
because yeah, but I mean, yes, you can do a film in 15 minutes. What we did was we took just a portion of his backstory, one piece of his backstory that he really wanted to highlight and showcase in a different type of way. So we took that portion and we constructed 4 scenes out of it. We did pretty much a beginning, 2 body sections, which was our middle, and then we had our conclusion. And then how we did that to showcase time passing was I did it in the easiest way, where I shot something, and then when I wanted to transition into my next scene, I just had text come up on screen saying 3 months later, 8 months later, 2 weeks later. And then that way it just gives like a visual representation to my audience and the viewer to be like, oh, okay, there's some time that did pass. So that way they're not confused and thinking, is this all in one day? Is this all in one weekend? Is this all in one week, 1 month? Right? There's little tricks like that that you can make something look like it's so large when it really is, when it really is a lot of time passing. We actually shot that film over the course of a weekend. Actually, it was 3 8-hour days,
Wow.
and it was 4 sets. So it was long, but I kind of wanted to crunch through it, and I think it was a success.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to
Thanks.
have a look at some of your other work. I think you sent me something. I still haven't had a chance. It's just been crazy, between real estate and geez, all the other stuff I do. But I want to get more into my podcasting and my digital TV show. It's more fun, and I want to
Yeah.
have more fun. That's my whole thing for 2004. I'm going to do a virtual summit or conference once a month because I love doing those. And so for next year, I think I'm going to add in a real estate podcast, maybe help some real estate agents, sell their properties and so on for some, relatively minimal price. We're used to overpaying for everything in real estate, like everything we
Right.
do. So I'm just wondering, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, how can I use this with the real estate? I'm sure we can come up with something. So yeah, so no, that's fantastic. How much fun did you have filming with Robert J. Moore and all the people that you got to meet, including me?
Oh, honestly, it was a blast, right? Like, typically a film like Roberts would have been shot like consecutively over about 20, 21 days. But of course, he had his own schedule, I had my own schedule, and we kind of just went week by week. And I think it was like a every Sunday type of thing. We would just be like, "Hey, what days are you not doing anything this week?" "Oh, I'm free Thursday and I'm free Wednesday." "Okay, cool. Well, Thursday I'm picking you up. You're not doing anything. We're going out. We're doing this." And although we did still like do it over the course of like 15 to 20 days, it was like broken up, right? So I believe when we initially started, we started in the beginning of June, and then it took us till about halfway through July. So halfway through July is like when I more or less finished the filming, and then I finished the editing pretty much halfway through August. But I was like, I was cranking through that documentary. I mean, typically you would not get your documentary back like in 30 days. Like that's something that does not happen. Even the editing alone for a project like that is anywhere between like 2 and 3 months. But I literally gave my team all the other projects to do during that time. And I was like, I'm just going to focus, just balls to the wall, hammer this documentary. And I probably spent at least 4 to 6 hours a day editing for 4 or 5 weeks straight. And that's why it was, it happened. But yeah, in a perfect world, I would say 60 to 90 days is when you would like even remotely consider getting your documentary back.
Right. Well, also you guys were at the mercy of one, like you had to visit numerous jails, and you know,
Yeah,
so you had to make appointments for that. It's not like you can just show up. Hey,
right.
can you film here today? Yeah, no, it doesn't quite work like that. So yeah, no,
No.
that's fascinating. Yeah, no, that's that. I love what you do. I think it's amazing, and there's so many different things. I'm now going through my head, going, "Gosh, yeah, I could do a commercial. I could do a commercial for this, for that, for this product, that product." Like it's so amazing, right? Like there's so many options and opportunities. I mean, this is like a marketing haven, advertising, totally something brand new and amazing. So absolutely, for sure. Tell us the name of the movie that you did with Robert.
Yeah, it's called Reinventing Freedom, and you can find it on. Well, I mean, I can send a link to it. It's on Vimeo. That's the platform that we used, and you can rent it on there. Also, with the film, you also get a lot of like behind the scenes footage. You get a lot of um, oh boy, you get a lot of behind the scenes footage. You get a lot of uh, you get the director's cut. I actually did a segment on there as well. Robert did a walkthrough at one of the jails because it was open to tours,
Mhm.
right? So he gave like additional information, and the cool thing about it was, he was stationed at one of these jails for a bit of time as well. So he did time where we went. So that was really cool. That was really cool. Not only for the tour guide to just give information about the jail, but it was also interesting for Robert to give his insight information. Um, you know, to kind of give further context to what our tour guide was saying, and that was like super interesting. And it's funny because when you go on these types of tours, there's so many different dynamics of people. You can feel that there were certain people there that were like really intrigued and really interested in like what Robert was saying. Other people were kind of just like standoffish and like thrown off that he was there. Other people were like not so interested, I guess, in what he had to say, or maybe they were Maybe they were a little spooked considering his background. And, I mean, I would get it. I would feel that same way too if I didn't know the guy and he was just there and he's this, big guy and who could, you could probably rip your head off. But I mean, he's such a sweetheart. You know what I mean? He's such an awesome character. So yeah, it's crazy. It's really cool when you have a different dynamic of individuals and you watch them respond and see how they act too. Unfortunately, there were no waiver signs, so I couldn't actually film facial expressions on the crowd. But we have to make do with what we have, and then that's what ended up happening. But yeah, you rent that film. There's a lot of behind the scenes that you would thoroughly enjoy. Just more backstories, more context, more dialogue. It's awesome.
Amazing. What an amazing opportunity. And it was so much fun, and you're so good at what you do, and you can tell that you love it. And even after a long day of filming, and even after asking me, I don't know, how many questions did you ask me alone? Just maybe 60 or something. And I don't know which ones you took and which ones you kept, but it was like, oh my gosh, how is he not bored of me yet?
No.
A question like 78 different ways, and trying to get the right angle. And then, of course, you told me not to look, and then I did.
Slightly,
Yeah,
but I think you caught yourself.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I can follow some instructions. It's not it's not horrible. What did you do before this, Lefty?
I was a touring. Well, okay. Well, if you want to know, like before, I was a touring international DJ, and just before I got into filmmaking, I was I was a photographer. I was a portrait photographer.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
What was that? So you can basically, you know what? The only can you MC? Because if you MC an event, you've got everything. You've got the photography, you've got the MCing, you've got the DJing, everything.
I mean, I could. I haven't done it in quite a bit, so it would be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, I definitely am told that I have the voice for it. So
And the personality, because you know how to be, casual and laugh, and and still stay on track and get things done. That's for sure. So
yeah,
good for you. So I'm
thanks.
just going to ask you a couple more questions because
Sure.
we're getting down close to the end here. What is your definition of success for you?
You know what? That is a journey that I'm still on to find the like that firm concrete answer. You know, right now, like right now, some people have the definition of success is I have $1 million or I make 10 million a year or whatever the case might be, right? I'm more so in like the terms of like success for me would just be at this point in time getting a couple more awards under my belt and being able to help as many entrepreneurs as possible during that journey. Because what I do, it's even though I do work with coaches and industry leaders, it's kind of different my version of success, right? It's because like, even with Robert J. Moore, I won, for example, Best Cinematographer 2023. It's like, so do you care that I have that award or do you care that I have $1 million? Right. So there's a big difference where it's like if I'm hiring like a business coach, for example, I probably care more that he has $1 million than he has, a film award. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm still on that journey. I'm still trying to figure it out. Um, you know, I feel like I will figure out the definition of what my success truly looks like. Uh, Hopefully in the next couple of years as I continue to like embark on this journey and like move forward and push through any limiting beliefs or any obstacles that might come my way. But I think right now as long as I'm doing what I love and I'm making people happy and I'm giving them a product that that they can be proud of, I think I'm happy with that right now.
That's beautiful. That's a great answer. What's one of your biggest challenges that you had to overcome to get yourself to where you, obviously you're super successful right now. So what was either some of them, or what was your largest challenge that you had to overcome to arrive at where you're at right now?
Okay. Um, this one is probably more for the for the filmmaker than it is for the entrepreneur. My biggest challenge that I had to overcome is thinking that I needed the biggest, baddest, best equipment to get the job done. Thinking that I needed to that I can't make do with, let's say, a two, three, $4,000 camera. I needed a $50,000 camera or a $10,000 camera. Um, I feel like a lot of the I feel like this is where the shiny object syndrome comes in, and like a lot of people have their own different outlook on what shiny object syndrome is. For someone like me, a lot of the times it was in the camera bodies, it was in the lenses, it was in the lighting, it was in the well, I mean, you can never have too much lighting, but it was in like the microphones and all that jazz, right? I remember, I when I was starting this journey, I followed a lot of filmmakers and photographers, and they were like, "Oh, this is the best lens that you can ever have." I would purchase it, and then all of a sudden, 2 months later, I'm like, "Oh, I haven't really used this lens very much." And next thing you know, I'm watching more YouTube videos, and I'm figuring out that it's more for like wedding videography, and it's like, I'm not even a wedding filmmaker, so why do I have this? So for me, it was the equipment. It was always thinking that I needed to, you know, be above and above and above. But I will say there does come a time where you do reach your limitations with what you have, and then that's where an upgrade is needed. Um, One example is the current studio that I'm on. I love my iMac, but well, I've surpassed it in my editing skills where I'm way faster than my computer, and my computer just can't handle it anymore. So that's my next upgrade, which I'm doing in about a couple weeks. But yeah, that would be it. It's mainly thinking that I need something better than what I have to attract the person that I want to attract.
That's right. And it's really, I mean, the camera of course has a lot to do with it, and the equipment and the sound and the lighting, but really it's the energy behind it, right? It's Lefty. It's Lefteris Koutinas. It's his energy that is behind it that makes it what it is, right? Like those are the amazing, amazing things. I have one
Yeah,
last question for you. Uh, if you could have a magic wand and wave it, and you could spend an hour with each one of these people, who would they be? There's five people that you can choose from, whether they're dead or alive, famous or otherwise, family members, whatever you want. Who could you spend an hour chatting with over a coffee? Who would they be?
I have three wands.
Four, five, sorry, five.
I have five.
Yeah.
Number one would be Martin Scorsese. Uh, for those of you who don't know him, he is the wonderful director behind movies like Goodfellas, A Bronx Tale, The Irishman, Wolf of Wall Street. I feel like his style of cinematography, I incorporate a lot of kind of like what he does. He's been like one of my biggest inspirations. Um, Second to that would be, oh man, second to that, I guess just because it's a pop culture thing now, and he's kind of like an icon currently. Other people might be like, "Eh, why?" But other people kind of understand. I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with Alex Hermosi. Uh, that guy is just a genius, especially for his age, because he's even younger than me. So that is definitely somebody that I would love to sit down and have a coffee with for an hour. I would say, because I also kind of mimic this kind of style, I would love to sit down with Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is also behind movies like the Dark Knight series. He just did Oppenheimer. He's done Inception. So he does a lot of those like darker, moodier films, and I feel like that's kind of where I get, my shadowing and my contrasting and all that. Um, and then, hmm, number four, and I don't even want to say number four. Like, I'm not even saying this in order. It's just the people that I can think of the top of my head. Is I wish, I wish I could, I wish I could sit down with my grandfather again for an hour. I mean, I'm really starting to like think about everything that he would tell me over the years, and it's like, now having certain like conversations with other business owners, I'm just like, wow, like he told me this information like 15, 20 years ago, and it's like I get it now. Like, I didn't really get it back then, and I get it now. So I I think it would be interesting, but there's a lot of things that he did tell me that are like subconsciously in my brain, that also makes me feel like there are times where I'm like ahead of my time. So he's definitely somebody that I would love to have a conversation with again. Um, and the last person, younger me. Yeah,
There you go.
younger me.
Younger me. That's one of my other questions. What would you say to your 20-year-old self?
My 20-year-old self, I would probably say, um, just, continue doing what makes you happy, but, you know, this isn't the path. This isn't what you're destined to be. You're destined for so much greater than this. And if you have an opportunity to break free from the chains that you are in right now, that you can get rid of any and all of the limiting beliefs that um, culture and society has put on you to think one way and not the other. um and invest in these things now, to give yourself like a head start for what's to come.
That's beautiful. I love that. Super profound and super amazing. Lefty, thank you so much for being a guest
Oh,
on my
thanks.
show. We have to do this again really, really soon. And thank you so much. If anyone wants to get in touch with Lefty, you can get in touch with me, and I will be more than happy to connect you to him. Thank you so much. Have a great day, Lefty. And I'm just
You
going to
too.
we're going to hear a couple of words from sponsor, and then we're going to end the show. So thank you all so much once again for sharing this time with me. Namaste.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JASCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
15 authors have been guided and united under the influence and illumination of the master who teaches how to become a millionaire through meditation, Marianne Pageant. Her latest book, Self-Empowerment Reset, The Perfect Time Is Now, is creating waves and transforming situations internationally, from adversity to greatness, with critics calling it the most comprehensive handbook for transformation and the perfect guidance for the 2021 cycle of awakening. Purchase a copy of her book on Amazon now to experience the reset you're looking for.